Hey everyone, it's Rod with Power Group. Welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth, your home for MJ Stocks, Crypto Assets, and Interviews. Today's Monday, July 3rd. Hope you're well. Happy Monday. Hope you had a great weekend as well. And in today's video, we're going to be discussing Canopy Growth Stock, ticker symbol CGC on the NASDAQ specifically. We're going to talk about the massive 64% bounce that we had from the low of Friday. We're going to be talking why Canopy Growth Stock was up so much today. And the stock market did close a little bit early, so we got cut short today. In the US, it closed early, and then in Canada, it was closed because of Canada Day. So happy Canada Day and long weekend to my fellow Canadians here in Canada, and happy 4th of July for those in the US going into tomorrow. But like I said, the markets were closed in Canada today, and it closed early in the US markets, and tomorrow the Canadian markets will be open, but the US markets will be closed. So again, enjoy your holidays with friends and family, and enjoy the time off. But before we get to all of that and more, we're going to be just going over a couple of things here, housekeeping items. So first and foremost, make sure to smash the like, help support me in the channel. And speaking of supporting me, thank you so much to everybody who supported me over the years, because I eclipsed the 500,000 view mark on the channel, and that's a very coveted and surreal feeling. So thank you very much for helping me reach that milestone. And as a way to give back, I'm going to be doing a giveaway of an annual gold membership to the Power Group private community. So if you go to my channel, click on videos, there's the video right here, giveaway alert. All you have to do is comment on that video. You can go to the community tab as well, and you can click the link there, and then it'll bring up this video here. It's just over 2 minutes long. Just drop a comment, and then you'll be entered for a chance to win. I'm going to do a random comment picker. I'll choose a random comment on Wednesday, and just so you know, you can't do duplicates. So if you're going to comment a couple times, it's not going to matter. So please just refrain from doing that, just to doing it at one comment. Like I said, very appreciative of everybody who supported me along the way. It definitely does not go unnoticed, and I really do appreciate it from the bottom of my heart, but it's valued at about $150. So moving on, I did a video on Canopy's Q4 and fiscal 2023 results. They had over a $3 billion loss. I think it was almost 650 million loss for the quarter, over $3 billion for the year. And then I also did a video not too long ago, 5 days ago, that we had a bear flag target of 40 cents USD that we were watching for, and that target has since been met, and it actually dropped a little bit below that. And like I said, we had a huge fast recovery, and what we were looking for, and I mentioned this to Power Group private group members, that in order to be confident that a bottom is in, well, we need to do a few things. We need to confirm monthly uptrends across the sector, not just in the US but in Canada. Operators in the US and Canada, retailers, ETFs, all of that need to confirm monthly uptrends. We also want to see golden crosses across the sector with, the 50-day below the 200-day moving average. And when they cross, that's a golden cross. We want to see that across the sector. And then another thing we wanted to see was a heavy capitulation and hard and fast drop, followed by a massively aggressive bounce that would indicate possibility of long-term bottoms being set. And that's something that we saw today on Canopy. So a lot of people are asking, why was Canopy Growth Stock up so much today? There's a few different reasons. We'll get into some news articles, but a lot of it was technical, right? And we knew that bear flag was coming, and we were completely destroyed with barely any resistance on the daily, on the weekly, and on the monthly time frame. And then today, like I said, it was just scales tipping, right? So many people get on one side of the fence that eventually it just, coils up and we explode to the opposite direction, right? Just like if we go in a straight line up, nothing goes in a straight line forever. So if we are straight lining up, then there's a good chance that we're going to see an elevator move down, right? So that target was hit. And again, that's not me. That's just technical analysis. And if you're wondering, how did Rod know? Right? It's not me. I was just relaying what the message said, and that chart was saying, that bearish continuation pattern was saying we could be targeting 40 cents, which we'll look at here in just a moment. But this article is from Reuters. So Canopy Growth closes sale of California facility amid liquidity worries. So obviously that tanked the price. This was from June 29th, 4 days ago. And that played a factor in my opinion, because we're starting to see some restructuring with regards to their operations and things like that, and trying to just raise funding and cut costs essentially. So Canopy Growth, another article here from Newswire. Canopy Growth announces completion of conversions pursuant to US 100 million convertible debentures, provides update on balance sheet actions taken to date. And then there was an article here from the Motley Fool. You got to take what these guys say with a grain of salt, but sometimes they're definitely worth paying attention to, right? So why shares of Canopy Growth jumped today? Canopy is paying down debt, selling off facilities. The company's stock hit a 52-week low on Friday, and Canopy said it lost more than $3.3 billion in fiscal 2023. So what happened? It was up more than 39%. Actually, it was up more than that. It actually closed the day up 52%. And then after hours, slightly down. But from the low of Friday, we were up over 64%. But it just goes on to say here, the stock jumped after the company announced several moves to improve its liquidity and pay down its debt. Canopy shares are still down more than 76% though to start the year. So again, I'm not going to go into this whole article just out of effort of time, but if you want to check that out, I'll place it in the description of this video. But like I said, from the low of Friday, if you take the absolute local low there to the local high, we're up about 64%. And then if we take a look at the daily time frame, it's actually record daily, weekly, and monthly. So this is what we want to see. We want to see a hard and fast drop, right? And then a massive bounce. So because we had barely any resistance, realistically, we didn't have any clear resistance until like even that 74 resistance wasn't even a big level. We had a small level there at 56, but realistically, we don't have any resistance up to about $1 psychological and then 126 on the price action on the daily time frame. And then we had that bear flag that we were looking at. We had the high, the low, lower high, and then anything under 59 cents was a potential bear flag. And then if we take the measured move from the high to the low and we move it out to the 0.32 fib, it was targeting 40 cents. We actually hit 38 cents. And we were extremely oversold there. We were down at around 12 in the RSI, saying that we were extremely oversold. I said watch for monthly oversold to potentially mark a bottom. We were extremely oversold on the weekly time frame as well. And then, like I said, on the monthly, we were very, very close to hitting that monthly oversold. And like I said, we have record daily volume. So if we zoom out here on the daily time frame, you can see here that today's volume, we had 87.672 million shares traded. And that is an absolute record for the NASDAQ. And then if we zoom out to the weekly here, it's only one day in and we're already pretty close. We're over halfway of the all-time high record weekly volume as well. And then on the monthly time frame, we still got 27 days, 23 hours left. And you can see here that we're almost basically at half. We're basically a quarter. So we can easily set record monthly and weekly volume as well, but a great indication that we have the all-time high record daily volume as well. And then something that we'll keep an eye on is the fact that, like I said, we're coming off potential that monthly oversold territory, and that's generally a good idea. If you don't know anything about technical analysis, it's generally a good idea to buy down here when we're oversold, especially on the longer term time frames, and then to sell when we're overbought, especially on the longer term time frames. But at the moment, it is a potential weekly bear flag. So if we take the high to the low there, and I'm just going to get rid of a couple things here because I can't really see with all these different patterns going on and indicators. So let's just take a look at the high to the low, and then anything under 71 cents is a weekly bear flag. But again, the fact that we're seeing this volume is reassuring, and a massive bounce after, just a pretty brutal couple of weeks and months. And then, like I said, if we seen this play out, it would bring us to about 21 cents. So if we get over 71 cents, that will negate this weekly bear flag. And then if we drop below 38 cents, that will confirm it. If we do drop below 38 cents, then like I said, the target is about 21 cents, but we need to get over 71 cents to negate this bearish continuation pattern. I wouldn't put much weight behind that. I think that the bottom could very well be in, but again, we need monthly uptrends to confirm. We haven't even started the monthly bounce yet. We need to break 86 cents to start the monthly bounce. Then we need a higher low followed by a higher high, right? So we still got multiple months, at least 2, 3, maybe 4 months before we could confirm a monthly uptrend. And then in terms of the weekly moving average, we're well below the 10-week moving average there at 80 cents. We're seeing a cross of the stochastic and the MACD, though, a bullish cross, which is definitely promising. And we have nothing nearby until the 50 weekly there at 232. In terms of the daily time frame, we have nothing nearby for resistance until 91 cents. And then we could be at least 3 or 4 months, in my opinion, before we see a golden cross there as well. So we need golden crosses across the sector with the 50-day below the 200 and crossing. And then we need monthly uptrends across the sector as well. And then we need to get back above this 10-week moving average. If we can get a weekly, preferably 2 to 3 candle closes over that 10-week moving average, we could easily be heading back up to that $1 area. And I did a video on the potential of Canopy Growth getting a delisting of the NASDAQ warning and a potential for a reverse split. I don't think that's going to happen because they still have to get the warning from the NASDAQ. And if we zoom out to the daily time frame here, the first time that it closed below $1 was here at the 25th of May. So currently, we're only at 25 trading days under $1. So still need another 5 trading days under $1. And then they'll get 180-day warning, so 6 months essentially, to get back above $1 and then trade above $1 for 10 days. So I don't think it's going to happen where we're going to see a delisting. I definitely don't think it's going to delist, but you never know. They are starting Canopy US, so it's a possibility. But I would think that there's enough catalysts. We know that there's potential for the safe banking vote here after the July 4th recess. So we could see that also spark more interest in the space as well. We also had MSOS today, which was up, I think it was up almost 10%. Yeah, 8.66%. But from the low of the day to the high, we were up over 11%. So that is great to see as well. And then, like I said, HHS coming back with a potential rescheduling or even descheduling into the end of the year and potential for legalization of medical. It's looking really, really good in terms of, and then Florida potentially adding MJ to the ballot in 2024. Maryland sales just kicked off. So there's a lot of catalysts that we can potentially look for. But again, we need monthly uptrends. We need to see golden crosses across the sector. And we need more catalysts as well. And like I said, safe banking could be that catalyst. And then if not, I think the next, the quickest catalyst that we could get next to that, if that ends up not playing out and we don't, if we just get empty promises again and nothing happens with regards to safe banking vote and uplisting to the NYSE and the NASDAQ for the US operators, then it would be all eyes on HHS into the end of the year and potential for legalization of medical. All of that is going to play a big factor, in my opinion, in these bottoms being set, but definitely a great sign that we're starting to see on CGC record monthly volume come in, record weekly. It has been a record daily volume today in terms of the NASDAQ volume. So that is great to see. Now we need to see record weekly volume, then followed by record monthly volume. And then, like I said, these hard and fast drops and these brutal drops followed by a massively aggressive bounce is what we want to see to indicate that, we're potentially capitulating, hitting that bottom, that long-term bottom that we could potentially be expecting here. Like I said, into the fall, I think we're going to see a massive MJ run here into the end of the year. And then the S&P 500 is looking really good as well. We could see a lot of upside there in the broader market, which would be tailwinds for the MJ sector. And like I said, if we just couple that with one positive catalyst, whether it be safe banking progress and optimism from that, or whether it be HHS coming in and rescheduling favorably for, or even descheduling MJ, that would be a massive catalyst. But going to end it there, we should potentially see some massive upside into the Canadian ticker into tomorrow. So that will be interesting to watch, but I'll probably do a video on this, or at least an update on CGC at some point tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. But going to end it there, it's Rod with Powell Group. Thanks again for joining us on the Pursuit of Wealth. Hope you have a fantastic evening and 4th of July, like I said, for those in the US leading into tomorrow. Spend time with your family and friends, and try not to look at the computer. It's going to be pretty easy for those in the US because the markets will be closed, but like I said, it will be open here in Canada. All right, going to end it there. Let me know what you think about that, this new Canopy news, the move that we had today, and what do you think? Can we confirm that bottom is in? Personally, I think that we need a little bit more data, but curious what everybody else thinks. Going to end it there. Have a fantastic night. We'll see you in the next video.